Man, that looks naked. All right, we are back again on this monstrosity. If you remember from the last episode, we removed said nasty headliner that was raining good stuffs on me all the time every time I drove everywhere, which is always fun to get dust in your eyes when you're driving. Yeah, I know, I got the seat to do. So, what am I going to do today? Oh, yeah, let's put a headliner in. So here we go. Here we go. Look at that. Got some headliner material here. Picked this up from the Fiero store. If I can get my fingers on it. Apparently I can't grip anything. So, the color seems pretty darn close. Of course, we'll know when we get it in the car. I've just kind of marked it off. They do give you a much larger piece than this, so I cut off kind of around it and just left me a little extra, more so than what was the original headliner, which I used as a template. It's right here. After I washed this, funny enough, and got all the nasty off of it, that way I can use it for this without getting particles of goo everywhere. So I laid this out and kind of, okay, that's good enough. Cut the big square, and then I put the headliner board on it, and sure enough, we're good to go. So I think what I'm going to do now, I don't know if I want to cut these holes out yet, if I just want to adhere the main part to the board and then cut it and wrap it. That would probably be easier because it'll keep this center section in a little more manageable condition. Otherwise, you're fighting these, and you know, it's no fun. So this is going to be a little different than obviously doing all the T-top ones I've done, because there's a big old giant hole in the middle of this, and that one there's just nothing on the outsides. But that's kind of how I did those two. You do one big piece, and as you get that to cure enough to where it really won't move, and you can kind of cut out your holes and then wrap. Obviously this does not wrap around here, so I'm gonna have to kind of eyeball that as we go, because that goes into a channel on the roof. Back here it does wrap around. I didn't hear from the factory, but I think I'm gonna wrap a little bit of around and adhere it to the back side of this, maybe even a little bit here too, and probably there, just to kind of keep it, you know, consistent kind of thing. So yeah, let's, funny enough too, I did not know this can of headliner adhesive comes with the material from the Fiero store, so good bonus, because that's the stuff I always use anyways, the 3M stuff. It's probably the best out there. So let's get to spraying, shall we? And there we go, we're halfway through with the top side. Kind of wanted to show you I'm doing the same thing I did over there. Spray a piece of it, both sides. Don't go crazy. Don't get that side wet. You just kind of want the adhesive to just kind of sit on the top of it, kind of. Because if it gets like wet, you're in trouble because it'll soak through. You can get this side a little bit heavier, but you got to let it sit. You can't just immediately bond the two. Give it, I don't know, 30 seconds, a minute minimum, until this stuff starts to look like it's a little dry. You kind of want it to be tacky, but not wet, so it doesn't soak through the foam. And then we're going to fold that back, and you just lightly press it till it's in place. Then we'll give it a, I don't know, 20 minutes to half an hour or so, and I'll come back out and kind of make sure it's no wrinkles or nothing in it. Then we're going to go around and fine-tune all the holes and all the good parts. And voila, the magic is done. So one thing I forgot to mention is that I know I was going to put a piece of metal across here, but the metal that I wanted to put here was kind of a little thicker than, or the stuff that I've got's a little heavier than I wanted to put in here. So I used a few layers of actual metal tape, and that stiffened it right up. I mean, it is solid. That stuff is extremely sticky. It's amazing how well it sticks, but once you pinch it down, it don't move. So I even put a piece all the way across here just in case it ever decided to maybe crack. But the rest of it's actually not in bad shape at all. It came out pretty good. I want to be careful here. Still semi-curing. Let's flip this bad boy over. Not bad. Now I just got to go around, and obviously this section is going to be a little different because I might end up trimming some more of this off because the board's way back to here. And then I got to tighten up a couple areas. But once the headline or the console's in and the sunroof hardware and stuff's in, it's going to pinch it there and it'll be fine. I'm not going to punch these out yet until I get it in the car, and then I can use the sun visors, because if you mess those up, you're starting over. I don't really want to do that. So I'm going to let this cure for, well, I don't know. Why am I zooming in? Weird. I'll probably let it sit for an hour just to make sure it's completely bonded. I mean, it should be now anyway, but I just want to make sure. But yeah, it's in pretty good shape. Came out okay. Now we just got to just let it cure, and then back in that monstrosity it goes. and the fun continues. So I got the headliner back in for the most part. And then there's that strip that you saw me pull out. Well, putting that back in was a lot harder because now there's actual headliner material on real foam. This thing just fell out before, but you really got to put some elbow grease into that bad boy. Somebody had cut it short though here. I hope you can see the angle that it's cut at. So I'm going to kind of leave that for now. I'm going to see if I can get a new one of these. But for now, there's that. And I would say that's a heck of an improvement. Obviously, I'm not done yet. I still got to secure both panels, the coat hooks, the sun visors, clearly, and the lens covers. But that is going to be a monster improvement from not getting, rained on. Plus, I got to fix this A-pillar panel here. Okay, let's see if we can get sun visors in. All right, we got that one in. Not a problem. I'm going to show you an easy way to do this because I know a lot of guys have like a hard time trying to fit, because I'm not going to show you it, but it'd be like this, like, well, where do I put the screws? Where do I start cutting? And here's what you do. You find the triangle. You see, I already got one in there. But you can feel for it. You can feel where the triangle is. Let me pull that out. You kind of see it a little bit there too. But you feel it. You go for the very center and you cut a small circular hole. That's not a perfect circular, but I kind of looped it and then just stuffed the piece back. Then you can kind of peek inside there, take a punch, and line it up with one of your holes. Now we're going to put the sun visor up there, line that one hole up, start that screw. Don't screw it in all the way. Now you know that you've got kind of a pivot point. The other two can't be too far off. Plus, you know the shape of this triangle. So there should be one there, there should be one there. I'll get back on camera. One there and one there. So we're going to kind of just slowly do it, and you use a small little punch like this, and you can make teeny little holes, and it won't damage the headliner material. Plus, this is all completely covered anyway by the, can't see it there with it there. It's completely covered. So plus you're not removing this entire triangle of material. Like the original headliner, this whole thing is cut out. And if the adhesive around here fails, the thing starts peeling, and then you start getting, the raining dust problem. So that's what I did, and it works flawlessly, and I've done it for years this way. Anytime I've done a new headliner, and it comes out perfect. So lights work. The subwoofer works. We'll get to that in a minute. I did get the box in. We'll get to that after this is done. Little teaser, I guess. So let's get this all bolted up. I still got to put the lenses on it. Get this in. I still got to repair this panel. And here's the plastic piece from the old one that snapped off. So I think I'm going to take a piece of metal that's about this thick, bend it into a V, and panel bond it probably to the inside of the original one, if the panel bond will stick to it. And then I've got new clips for there and there that I had left over from one of my 3rd gen headliners, because they go across the top and the front in a 3rd gen. So it's the same clips. So I just got to get those metal brackets epoxied back into the plastic panel, put those in there, and this should snap back up. So I'm hoping that works. This is going to be the big question mark, because this is where it was always loose and flopping around, which was a big pain in the butt. Here's the other clip here that the other tab goes into. The other tab is fine on there. It's not cracked or broken or nothing. Yeah, it was just this one, and apparently that's why it was loose, because it broke off. I still have to get that out of there, obviously. So let me get this up in here, lenses, and put the sunroof back in. And then I'm going to probably attempt that. All right, the headliner is in. Now you'll notice that I've got some tape kind of holding these outer lenses in, because as typical of all of them that are 40-something years old, the 2 outer tabs, or a couple of the tabs, cracked, and they don't hold it in enough. They didn't break off, but they don't hold it enough. So I put a tiny dab of RTV in the very corners, so I can get it back out, because I got to change the light bulbs, just to hold them in. The one actually didn't need it. It popped in just fine, but it rattled a little, so I put it just a little bit on the one corner, just to kind of take it up. So I'm going to let that kind of sit like that. Same thing with that. It's the same thing I did last time, and it held on just fine. It only popped off because I peeled it off to be able to take that panel apart, which I didn't have to do, which was kind of stupid. I don't know why I did it. But the hooks are in. The sunroof hardware, obviously the overhead, both the sun visors, they work just fine. Everything's wrapped around and buttoned up here. Just got the A-pillar, like I said, and then the subwoofer, like I was talking about. I didn't video this because it would have been horrible to have you guys here looking up, zoomed in on my hands the entire time. But here's the sub box. Getting it in there was actually super easy, barely an inconvenience. You just have to take the one bolt out that, if you can see it right there, take that guy out, and this whole bracket assembly will just kind of get out of your way, and then this popped right into place. And there are, if I can get you in here, probably not going to be able to see them. There's one screw, oh my god, right up there, right there.
that I had to add, but the hole was already there. The bracket was already on the subwoofer. I put a factory screw in there, and then there's this one here that's on the sub bracket, and you just unscrew that, put it back in, put the bolt back in, and it's in there. It's solid. It's not moving. I did put these screws in because when I got the subwoofer, when I got the box, I didn't have these screws. So I don't know what went in here, but these fit. They're all stainless. Yeah, they're shiny. I guess I could paint them, whatever, but they went in, and that's what holds the bracket that the subwoofer actually bolts to. And then there's 4 screws right there in the 4 corners. You put those back in. The sub is back in there. I'm not sure if you can see through the grill to see it, but it is in there. Like I said, on the subwoofer, somebody had cut the wires off, so I had to, I ran 2, because the wires are blue from the factory, so I ran 2 blue wires, and then this connector that I got was an old stereo connector. I still got to clip it. As you can see, I didn't clip it. It's just kind of hanging here for right now. I'm just going to push it out of the way so we can see what's going on. But that's kind of how I routed it. I'm not sure if it came out of this corner from the factory. It probably came out of that back one for all I know, but I mean, when you're sitting in the car, you can't see any of this stuff anyway. And then it just routes under here, back behind where the stereo is, and everything is stashed behind here. There's 2 kind of little pockets behind that little metal bracket in the center, left and right, and that's kind of the only 2 spots you've got to stuff that giant sub harness. So I've got the factory radio harness on one side, the sub harness on the other, and then it runs up the A-pillar, which you can still see there because I still have to cover it, and then up to Mr. Performance sound switch, which I gotta tell you, for an 80s stereo that's factory, that sounds amazing. It really does add a lot of low end that this car seriously needed, because it sounds real tinny inside here. And there's not a lot of places you can put an aftermarket subwoofer. I know a lot of people will put it there, remove that door, and just put a sub there. And that's fine. Probably sounds pretty darn good too. But I didn't want to lose that door. I keep my owner's manual and stuff in there. Not that I ever read it, but it's in there. I guess there's room if you get not a real deep one, you can put it behind the seats. Not a whole lot of room back there, I got to say, because it's it's just a flat wall. So I figured the factory sub option is perfect enough. If it just adds a little bit, that's fine. I'm not trying to win stereo competitions here. I just want something that sounds decent as I'm rolling down the road. But I'm going to let the rest of this thing completely cure, because it's only been, I don't know, maybe an hour since I did it. I kind of wanted to just lightly throw it up in here. So everything's fairly tightened up. I didn't crank nothing down, obviously, because you don't want to do that. I didn't want to crack the board. My metal tape idea worked. I no longer see the giant cracks that you could see here before when the old headliner was in and the material was ripped. You could see the 2 cracks and it was kind of lumped. You can't anymore because that metal tape works really well. As soon as the adhesive cures on these 2 and that speaker, I'll peel the tape and you'll be fine. I could plastic weld that back in like it was from the factory, but why? Someday I might end up taking the speakers out, and that'll actually be easier to do that one. So, although who knows? Maybe I will plastic weld it back in. You never know. But as of right now, at least the sub is in. It sounds pretty good. I'm probably going to change that head unit at some point anyway. I've got a DVD player I'd like to put in here, but the shifter's in the way, so that probably won't happen. So there you go. Look at that. It's not hard to do. A couple hours worth of work. Take your time. Don't get the adhesive all over everything. That's why I laid it on cardboard and laid it flat in my yard instead of on a table. And lay it down. Just take your time, and it's not hard at all. I barely had to cut anything off of this. I left about, I don't know, 2 inches, 2.5 inches from the actual board itself, thinking that might be too much. And if it was, then I can just cut it off. And the only place I had to cut it off was in the very center. There was a little section that stuck up inside here. Of course, you can't see now because I put the roof back in. But I put that back in there to, I just want to keep, this a little darker, I guess. I don't know, whatever. It's back together. So let me get the A-pillar back in, and then the interior will be buttoned up for now, at least until I clean the thing, because it's definitely dusty. I still got to vacuum it and everything from what's left of the old headliner exploding all over me. But yeah, there you go. New headliner in. This is a Fiero store. Get in here. You can kind of see the color, and it matched to the 1 or 2 sections I had of the original headliner. That was hidden like under all this stuff that wasn't sun faded, and it matched pretty much exactly. Hey, got a little garbage right there. There we go. You can see how it matches the plastic and everything. So this is the I think it's the little dark gray interior, I want to say. They give you both options, but anyway, came out good. Pretty happy with their stuff so far. I'm glad they gave you the 3M headliner adhesive. I mean, I had a can, but that coming with it sweetens the deal. So if you're thinking about buying a recover kit from the Fiero store, I'd say go for it. I don't have a problem with it. Now I just got to get these nasty sun visors redone. Look, is there dust coming out of them too? Yeah, look at that. It's raining. Yay! Damn, I was hoping I was going to get rid of all the rain in here. Yeah, progress, I guess. Okay, on to the next. Well, that worked better than I thought. Use some epoxy, actually, that stuff. Oh, there. That plastic bonder. Look at that. Just mix it up and let it sit for an hour. Put the 2 new clips in, and it's pretty rock solid. I actually used it on that, too, the original tab. I'm going to try it. If not, I got a piece of metal that I made, so I'm going to try that first. It might actually work. Kind of impressed with how well that seems to be holding so far. So there's that. Let's get it in the car. And there you have it. The panel is in. And I gotta say, for me never taking one of these apart before in a Fiero, this one back in super easy. Once you get it clipped up there and these 2 lined up, just push it in and you still have enough room, which, twist. I did have to take this back out and the screw that is in the door right down here. So you take those 2 back out, which is a T47, the other one's just a Phillips screwdriver, and just slowly peel this back. The whole thing will come super loose. And you'll have enough room to kind of stuff this up in and just kind of let it float there. Push these 2 in first, get them clipped in and locked in place, which they are now. And then these 2 from the outside, you'll be able to see where those 2 little tabs kind of push up, and you just slide them up in and they grab themselves, and then it's locked in place. Put that back together and voila. And yeah, it's back together. It's a car again. And of course, trying to film this while I'm sitting in here is fun because there's, everybody knows there's a buttload of room in a Fiero. So, and you can hear the radio going, and hopefully with me talking, it's not going to get too copyright struck, but you can definitely hear with some classic Linkin Park here, good old Chester Bennington, that you can hear the bass, and then if you turn this all the way up, it really increases it. So if you turn it down, say it's kind of boring, so you gotta give it a little low. So I'll keep that thing probably, right in the middle. You don't need to be thumping the windshield out of it, but there it is. It's back together. It is a car again. Now I gotta do a couple other things to it, and then I think I'll be done for a little while for this, because I've got some things to do on that guy right there. See him peeking right there? See it peeking? Yeah. Fuel tank's back in though. See, I would have filmed that, but we did it on the other one, so yeah, fuel tank, fun stuff. Not bad if you do it the right way, but fun stuff. So back in though, runs fine. So I ramble on about stupid crap nobody cares about. But yeah, the sunroof's back in, and it works just fine. If you can see that metal strip, or metal, like a rubbery, hard plastic rubber kind of strip thing, this trim plate here, just pushes in. It's just got a barb. You just push it in, you pinch the headliner material between that and that stainless bracket. And yeah, it went in nice. I mean, you can't even feel where I put that metal tape in here. It's so nice. Just like brand new. Actually, I'm gonna leave that open. It's a little toasty in here. So good to go. Car is back together. Now, I wonder what else around here do we want to mess with today? Anything? Probably not. So, thanks guys. Thanks for following me on this one. Once again, share it with your crazy Fiero friends. If anybody's kind of apprehensive about doing a headliner in a Fiero, you don't have to be. This is one of the easiest jobs I've had to do as far as interior headliners. I kind of like how this is done instead of just wrapping it around like most headliners. You wrap it back to the board and you right here it. Kind of like it like this. It's very similar to the Fiero or DeLorean. Actually, the DeLorean headliners are very similar. You take the headliner material for that and you wrap it around, and it gets actually adhered to the I'm gonna show you. Let's go for a walk, shall we? Into my disaster. So, like I said, these two cars are kind of closely related in a way. But notice, I got to do headliners here. These door headliners are starting to... I don't know who recovered these before, because this is not the original material, but it definitely needs to be redone. But these headliners here, this is not adhered to the board, and it's not adhered to this. It actually comes up, and it's adhered to the fiberglass underbody here. and then this rubber strip just covers that up. See, it's kind of peeling right there. So this needs recovered too. I got to recover them. And yes, the car used to be red. That is the last of the red that I need to get rid of. I just haven't taken this door off yet to do it. I will. Big project for that coming up. That's probably going to be a winter situation. Where both doors have to come off. The T-panel's got to come off, and I've got a new metal roof structure. But that's a whole other situation. If I can survive that one. So let me close that. Not that it's bad, but, you know, I'd rather do it before it turns into a problem. While I'm still somewhat able-bodied. So, there it is. The Fiero is now, at least has an interior back in it. I think I want to put a fuel pump in just for peace of mind. I just got to find time around here to do it, because there's some other projects that are time sensitive at this point. And then, of course, putting this back together. So, a little work's been done, but I gotta find a place to mount the scanner controller, which I'm probably gonna hide somewhere. I don't really like how it just kind of sits here on most cars. I kind of want to keep it hidden, but we're getting there. We'll come back to that later. So there we go. There it is. One new Fiero headliner. Of course, yes, I did reuse the old board, but you know what I mean. Maybe we'll get new sun visors. Maybe somebody out there's got brand new ones. I don't know. I haven't even looked. They're not horrible. They're just, you know, they're old. All right, thanks, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your Fiero friends, and I'll see you guys soon.